Oh, okay. All right. Good evening, everybody, or good day. Yeah, little technical difficulties. All right. So, Mayurasana. Mayurasana is a posture. That's the third part. Uh, these Monday evening classes are really built to kind of get us in the groove a little bit, kind of get us practicing. And then we, kind of clinic a posture, very, typically a difficult posture, not always though, not always. This week though, we're working on Mayurasana, the peacock pose, this kind of unique arm balance. And parts 1 and 2, we dealt with some, we worked the wall, we worked with some very basic techniques of which I hope to cover today. I do try to keep these practices at about 45 minutes, right? They're not really meant, hopefully it's a good, relatively well-rounded physical practice, but, it's more to, these are meant to be a bit insightful, okay? Posturally, of course. So, my name is John, and this is Mayurasana Be Light. I was trying to be clever in titling this 3-part series, and I feel like I could have done better, but as I said last week, and I believe the very first week as well, or the first part, and definitely the second part, this posture has a tendency to feel incredibly heavy. Okay, it's just a heavy pose, right? There's a lot of lifting that goes on. The thing is, it's not lifting that we're not used to. Right? We experience the type of lift in Mayurasana that we experience in like Warrior 3, right? And in Shalabhasa Locust pose, right? Some baby cobra kind of action, right? It's not unlike some back bends in many ways. It's certainly an arm balance. Certainly requires a lot of upper body strength, but it's also one of those back strengtheners. So it's not like it's that unfamiliar. It's just because of the way it's designed, it feels very heavy, right? And obviously it's a bit precarious as well as it is an arm balance. So, Mayurasana Be Light? Maybe. I wish I was one of those teachers that made promises. I promise you, if you do this 3-part series, your Mayurasana will be light. Probably not. You gotta be truthful about that. It might be light someday. Maybe you're a practitioner who's been working on this pose maybe for many months consecutively, years maybe, and it's become lighter and lighter. My experience with it personally, I'm well equipped to perform this posture without many problems. It still feels very heavy. The practitioners I work with on a pretty daily or well, maybe not daily basis these days, but a very regular basis who've been working on this posture for some time also have very great difficulties in it as well. So the one thing that I really want to drive home before we get started with the physical practice is that lightness kind of has to happen in this pose, mostly in your mind. Right? The body part is going to feel heavy. The mental part, though, we can make light, right? And it's just a flip of the switch. It's like a lot of those postures that feel, that bring about great discomfort. What do we do with them? Do we fall into the discomfort, or do we try to elevate ourselves beyond that discomfort and do our best to learn from it? And that's one of the greatest benefits, outcomes, consequences of this posture. If you can learn to breathe in Mayurasana, you can kind of learn to breathe almost anywhere. any posture, any really difficult situation you might find yourself in life, you can probably get your breath regulated pretty well. Enough chit chat, John. Let's get it moving. All right, so standing at the top of your mat, we begin this practice just with a single lung. We'll take our hands to our heart. Right, full inhale. All right, Samastiti, stepping to the top of your mat, toes touch. We'll begin Sun Salutation A. Inhale, arms rise up, gaze to thumb. And then exhale and fold. Inhale, we look up halfway, lengthen, and exhale, plant your hand, step, or float your way back and lower. Chaturanga to your belly. Inhale, you're up dog or cobra, and into down dog, exhale. Ujjayi pranayama. 1, breathe with sound. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, step or float your way to the top of your mat. We'll take an inhale, look up halfway, and fold, exhale. Inhale, rise up, gaze up. Samasthiti, exhale. Inhale, arms rise. And fold, exhale. Halfway inhale. And exhale, step and float back lower. Inhale, and up dog or cobra. To down dog, exhale. 1, 2. Then soften your eyes, your jaw, and focus on your breath. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, step and float to the top. Halfway inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise up, inhale, gaze up. Samasthiti, exhale. Inhale, arms rise. And fold, exhale. Halfway inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1, 2. Feel like you're pulling your limbs towards one another. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale to the top. Halfway inhale. Fold, exhale. Eyes up, inhale, gaze up. And Samasthiti, exhale. Sun salutations B, inhale, knees bend, arms rise, gaze the thumbs. And fold, exhale. Halfway inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Step right foot forward, left heel down for warrior 1. Inhale. Rise up, gaze up. Exhale, touch down, step back and lower. Full inhale. Down dog, exhale. Left foot forward, right heel down. Inhale, rise up, gaze the thumbs. Exhale, touch down, step back and lower. Deep inhale. Down dog, exhale. 1. Control your breath. 2. 3. Nice. Stay in the rhythm of your breath. And 4. Soften your eyes, your jaw. 5. Exhale to the top. Halfway inhale. Fold, exhale. Knees bend, arms rise. Utkatasana, inhale. To stand, Samasthiti, exhale. We'll do one more. Inhale, knees bend, arms rise. Fold, exhale. Halfway inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right foot forward, left heel down. Inhale. Rise up, gaze up. Exhale. Touch down, step back and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot forward. Inhale. Exhale. Control your breath. Deep inhale. Down dog, exhale. 1, 2, 3. Smooth, fluid breaths. 4. And 5. Exhale to the top. Halfway inhale. And fold, exhale. Knees bend, arms rise. Utkatasana, inhale. To stand, exhale. Hands to hips, hop, feet, hips distance. Inhale, take a look up. Then fold, exhale for Padangusthasana. Catch big toes, first 2 fingers of each hand. Then inhale, take a look up halfway. Then fold, exhale. 1, 2, shoulders down your back. 3, learning to use your legs and belly as much as your arms. 4, and 5. Halfway inhale. Frame your feet, exhale, lunge left leg back. Vashisthasana, left hand plants. Right leg goes back, right arm reaches up. Inhale. Now, we've been doing the past few weeks. As you exhale, reach the right arm forward and down. We're going to switch to the other side. Be nimble here. Inhale, the left arm goes back towards your knees, then up, and then exhale, forward and down. Inhale, right arm back and up. And then exhale, forward and down. Again, left. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, right, back, up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, left, back and up. And exhale, forward to chaturanga, lower. Deep inhale. Down dog, exhale. Top of the mat, toes down. Keep breathing. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Folding, exhale. Knees bend, arms rise. Utkatasana, inhale. To stand, exhale. Hands to hips. Again, hop, feet, hips distance. We take an inhale, look up. Padangusthasana, exhale, fold, step on palms, toes to wrists. Inhale, we look up halfway. And fold, exhale. 1. Again, relax your jaw. 2. Oh, it feels so good. I just got done a long day of work. It feels so good practicing. 3. Getting into the body, getting into your breath. 4. I know that's a very laborious type of work, but still, getting moving feels so good. And 5. Inhale, we look up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. This time we lunge that right leg back as we exhale. Right hand plants, right away, Vashisthasana, side plank. Inhale, left leg back, left arm up. Now with movement, as we did before, exhale, forward and down with the left hand. And then inhale, the right arm reaches back and up. And exhale, forward and down. Left, inhale, back and up. Exhale, back and down. Do your best here. Keep breathing. Inhale, right, back, up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, back, up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, right, back, up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, left, back, up. Exhale, forward and down. Last one. Inhale, right, back, up. Exhale to chaturanga, lower, control. Full inhale. Down dog, exhale. Go to the right foot forward, left heel down, warrior 2. Unwind, inhale, piece of a right middle finger. 1. Just work on scrubbing in with your legs. 2. Like so many, postures just in general, seated, but certainly inversions, arm balances. 3. Learn to keep your legs communicating with one another. 4. So the more you kind of scrub in here, the better communication they have. And 5. Inhale, right leg straightens for triangle. Exhale, out and over, hands maybe to shin or big toe hold. Inhale, left arm up, knees up, left thumb. 1. Think about the hips forward. chest back. 2, ribs in, tailbone down towards your left heel. 3, keep lengthening this right side of your body. 4, and 5, and inhale, we come on up. Exhale, hands to hips, toes in, heels out. We face the left side of our mat. Inhale, look up, elbows back. And then fold, exhale, take hands between feet about shoulders distance. Inhale, look up and lengthen, then fold, exhale. 1. And work your shoulders again, down your back in 2. Keep that breath smooth and even. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, look up halfway. And exhale, walk your hands top of your mat. Back heel lifts, then the knee lowers. Kneeling crescent lunge, point toes left foot back, and inhale, reach your arms up, gaze up. Now, we're just breathing here. 1, I want you to work on strengthening your back, like I said in the beginning of practice. 2, so much of making Mayurasana a light, quotes, posture is having that strength in the back of your body to help hoist the chest and legs up off the mat. 4, keep lifting your chest, shape your body into the back bend. And 5, exhale, hands down, frame front foot, step back and lower chaturanga down. Nice full inhale, up dog. Down dog, exhale. Left foot forward, right heel down, unwind, warrior 2, inhale, gaze left middle finger. 1, remember that gathering in of the legs, so important. 2, relax your jaw again. 3, stay focused on your breathing. 4, this is like a very body-oriented practice. I still want that focus. 5, inhale, left leg straightens, maybe adjust that back foot in a little bit. Exhale, out and over, hand again, maybe to shin or big toe hold. Inhale, right arm up, gaze up. 1, 2, then tailbone moving down, this time towards your right heel. 3, relax your jaw. 4, I always like to feel like my cheek, my left cheek is just like sloughing off of my, is that sloughing, sloughing off of my face. And 5, inhale, come on up. The heat's gotten to me today. Exhale, toes in, heels out, hands to hips. Inhale, arms reach wide. And exhale, release your fingers behind your back. Now, if you have tight shoulders, you can always grab a strap or a towel or something like that, okay? Inhale, straight arms, take a look up from your belly. And fold, exhale, we'll bring our arms overhead. Tuck your chin, look to your navel, and breathe here. 1, 2, 3. Get out of your heels, scrub in with your feet. 4, and 5. Inhale, we look up halfway. Hands to your mat, then exhale, walk your hands to the top of your mat. Right knee lowers, toes point, Anjaneyasana, other side. Inhale, arms rise up, gaze up. 1. Remember, look at it not as a back bend, but as our teacher would say, right? Well, Diana's teacher, one of my very favorite teachers I got to study with, Tim Miller, not back bends, they're back strengtheners, right? So figure out how to make everything from the back of the skull down to your tailbone to contract evenly, right? The intensity is even throughout the back of the body, right? It's not all just here in the low back, all right? 4, and 5. Exhale, hands down, step back and lower chaturanga. Full inhale, up dog. Down dog, exhale. Now Utkatasana, right? Top of the mat, toes touch. Inhale, knees bend, arms rise. And here is a perfect example, again, of those postures that help strengthen your back. 1, 2, right? You can gaze to your thumbs. As you sit back, keep lifting the chest up. 3, but the hips should feel heavy. 4, you're lifting up against that heaviness. And 5, exhale, fold, Bakasana. Inhale, we look up halfway. Exhale, hands plant, knees to upper arms. Inhale, rock forward. Maybe those feet lift on up. One, now we know that Mayurasana is a very challenging posture, requires good stability through the arms and shoulders. Two, now this is an attempt to build that strength. Three, and stability. Four, but if your feet don't lift, don't worry about it. Just get forward, press into those hands. Exhale, Navasana. Sit yourself down. Got caught in the pose. Inhale, legs lift. One, gaze to toes. Two, three, chest up. Of course, this is so important for those belly muscles. Eventually, when we get here, Mayurasana, right, the elbows pressing into the gut. So we need, I guess it's not like Tarzan. You do it down here, but anyway, we're going to lower heels, shoulders, 6 inches from your back, ease to your toes. Keep breathing. One, stay with me now. Two, don't get lost in the words. Stay on your practice. Three, I think this posture is so good you can feel all those muscles here that are going to be the platform from which your elbows rest upon. And where was I? 4, maybe? Inhale, lifting back up. And chaturanga, exhale. Cross ankles, step or float back and lower. Nice full inhale, up dog. Down dog, exhale. And I want to work on warrior 3 first. Warrior 1, right foot forward. Left heel down. Inhale, rise up, reach up. That back heel lifting, exhale, reach forward into your balance. Now you can take your hands to your heart. You can leave them outstretched. But keep that left inner thigh lifting up towards the ceiling. Chest up as well. 1. Right, so think a bit of up dog in your chest. 2, in the left inner thigh reaching upwards. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, hands plant. Step, float your way back and lower. Full inhale, up dog. Down dog, exhale. Left foot forward, right heel down. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Warrior 3, back heel lifts, push off, find balance. Again, maybe the arms remain outstretched, hands to heart. 1, whatever suits you best. 2, again, that right inner thigh here lifting upwards. 3, and that lift in the chest. Again, you're going to feel it. You can get that hand in your middle back. You should feel those muscles really firing off. 4, and 5. Exhale, hands down, step, float your way back, lower chaturanga. Full inhale, up dog. Down dog, exhale. Chalavasana, inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, lowering through chaturanga and onto your belly. Point toes. We'll do A and B as part of traditional second series Ashtanga practice. Hands resting beside your hips, palms turned face up. Now, what I want to do, we're going to keep our hands on our mat. Inhale, head, chest, and legs lift up off your mat and draw your shoulder blades back. 1, chin up, gaze down. 2, just like those warrior 3s, inner thighs lifting up. 3, 4. Now keep your body lifted, and then just set your hands next to your chest lightly. 1, we're not pressing. 2, we are keeping the shoulders back. 3, 4, and 5. And chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. All right, now, one thing we did the previous 2 weeks were eagle arms, right? Working on those eagle arms. So let's come down to our knees into a seated posture. And we're just going to kind of like isolate the action in the shoulders instead of like kind of keeping everything kind of moving and stuff. Now, the thing that happens with Mayurasana is that the shoulders pronate quite deeply, right? They end up rolling forward like so, right? Now, the thing is, when we set the arms, right, like so, the shoulders end up collapsing forward. But in actuality, we'll learn to fight them back. And one thing that happens in eagle arms, right, when we take eagle arms, is that the shoulders end up pronating like that, right? They end up kind of falling forward. But in actuality, the rhomboids, the muscles between the shoulder blades, are meant to counteract that deep pronation. And as you consciously engage them, the shoulder blades start to, kind of move onto the back of the body. And the shoulders start to follow that action. And they move away from that deep pronation and start to settle somewhere in a more reasonable, favorable position. And I'm like, favorable. When it comes to Mayurasana, the only thing that's really favorable is not doing it. I shouldn't say that. I love the pose. I do. I love the posture. All right. So those of you who might be out there watching this that practice second series regularly, do not use my words against me. All right. So last week before, we were working a lot on the hands, the wrists, the forearms, which I want to get into just briefly. So what we're going to do is, and I kind of took one finger at a time and stretched through the hands. Today, we're just going to reach the left hand forward, right? My palms turned face up like so. My elbows bent slightly. My right hand is going to grip my fingers, right? My fingers are overlapping, fingers of my right hand overlapping my left hand. My thumb is placed on the back of my hand. The only thing I'm doing is extending my left elbow and learning to kind of draw the fingers, all of them, back towards my body. Right? I'm just kind of stretching through the forearms a little bit, just to help open up the hand, the wrist, the shoulder, forearms, and we're breathing here. For 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to get to eagle arms in a moment. If you're thinking like, oh, they just talk about eagle arms. 5. Hands first, people. Hands first. All right, now we're going to switch, right? That right hand reaches out. Notice here, I've got that bend in the elbow. My fingers of my left hand are overlapping the fingers of my right hand, the left thumb placed in the back of the hand. I extend the right elbow as I gently draw the fingers of my right hand back towards my body. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. And exhale, release. So we'll take those eagle arms, arms wide. Inhale. We then reach the left arm underneath of the right arm. Trying to cross at the elbows as best I can, entangling the forearms, attempting to get the palms to press. All right. So now as those palms kind of work towards one another, right, I want to then learn to lift my elbows, right, as best I can, find that tension point. For some of you might not even feel it. And in this case, whether you feel, for me, it's like the shoulders are like, they're like, let's see. It's like those scenes, when those scenes in movies, right? When like you're on like a cliff's edge and you're like hanging on. You're using every ounce of energy to keep those hands gripping. Anyway, so I'm lifting it. It's intense for me, for my shoulders. But again, for some of you, not so much. In either case, I want you to work your shoulder blades back towards one another. Counteract the collapsing of the shoulders forward by engaging those rhomboids and setting the shoulder blades back towards one another a bit. Right, as the elbows continue to rise, that might intensify, but work on then moving the hands away from one another. And we're just going to count for 3 more breaths. 2, and 1. Release, inhale, arms wide. We switch, left arm on top. Let's try it again. Left arm on top this time, entangling the forearms, palms. Press. Remember, we're going to lift the elbows. Again, for me, it's wonderfully intense, right? Again, I got to change my mind about the sensation that I'm experiencing right now, right? It is not pain. It is just discomfort. That's all it is. It's discomfort because my shoulders, and I can feel those muscles just like hanging on again, like on that cliff's edge. Whew. My elbows are rising. My hands are moving away from my face. And then I'm learning to contract the rhomboids to move the shoulder blades, again, onto the back of the body. All right, we'll count it off. 1. Yes, we'll go up to 5 here. It sounds about right. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale and release. Whew. Okay, so we're going to study the wall a little bit, identify what feels appropriate for us as far as elbow position, hand position in relation to the body, and then we're going to work on the mat. We'll go through a few stages. Last week we worked with the wall using blocks. We're not doing that this week because we're going to kind of accelerate things. I'm going to break things down for people so you have somewhere to work. And then we're going to look at the transition as it might look in second series. Quite honestly, we'll see how I am today. Right? We'll see how that goes. So we're going to use the wall. And first, let me demonstrate. Now I want the position of my feet away from the wall enough so that I start to leverage weight forward and I can start to feel my weight press into my gut, right, where the elbow strikes my gut as I learn to take the shape of the posture. Okay, now remember, what we did the past 2 weeks was two things. One, we wanted to figure out where those arms are going to be. The bend in the elbows is very rarely 90 degrees, right? It usually opens itself up to like 100 degrees maybe, right? For some, it might go even beyond that. Right? Just simply because we got to get enough weight forward to make those legs get light. So again, usually the elbows are not at 90. Now the second exercise we did was positioning the body and just trying to move weight into those arms. Today, I want to do both, right? So I want to keep the arms, the elbow position beyond 90 degrees. At the same time, I'm going to kind of hunch down a little bit. I'm going to draw my shoulder blades back as best I can, a lot of the stuff we just did. And notice how far back my feet are, so I can just begin to identify how the weight of my body, this obviously is, I'm only taking up about, maybe 10 to 15 pounds, right? Not, 160 pounds or whatever it is I might be. Right? That's a very big difference, but it doesn't matter, right? Because it's all about building intelligence in the pose. And I know I talk about intelligent postures all the time because a quality posture usually means that the practitioner has gone through it a number of times and experienced it over and over again. In the Vinyasa and Ashtanga systems, we got fine breaths, we're out. We can research them a bit here and there, but let's really kind of like think it through, which again is usually not the advice I would give a practitioner. Don't want you to think, right? I want you to be, in the present moment, just kind of exploring and feeling, and that's during your regular practice. When we have an opportunity to kind of clinic these poses, on the other hand, figure things out. Look at those dimensions. Figure out the architecture of your posture so that you're building it correctly. All right. So the hands, again, placed at the wall, my pinky fingers touching, barely touching, elbows squeezing in. I want to make sure that those elbows are beyond 90 at whatever degree, but beyond 90. My elbows are squeezing towards one another, shoulders back, and I'm now beginning to press weight forward into those elbows. I can feel where my arms are making contact with my lower ribs and gut, and you should too. All right, so hopefully you worked on that. Yep, go ahead. If you have not yet. You're probably just mostly like, talking too much. Now we got to take some of that information, positioning the elbow, weight into the elbows, squeezing of the arms towards one another, the shoulders moving back, and now apply it to the actual posture. We're going to start in that crouch position as we've done the past few weeks and start to learn to apply weight. Now, as I'm practicing it right now, my vinyasa classes, right, because this is a lot about feeding information into some of those vinyasa classes, the way that we're practicing it right now is I lift my head first, and then I work on lifting my feet. We're doing things kind of in reverse here. I want you to actually learn to lift your legs, your knees in this more crouched position, and that's where you're really going to feel that weight bear down on your gut. God. So hopefully you haven't eaten anything anytime recently. Okay, so we begin, right? We're sitting back onto the heels, knees apart. We're setting our hands up, and as I will say over and over again, this is really the first position we want to learn to be in. Right? My elbows are straight. We're barely taking on any of the shape of Mayurasana while we're here. But it's important to kind of work those hands and figure out the placement of those hands. Now, the second position is a little bit closer. It's actually quite a bit closer. We're going to bend the elbows. I'm going to reach the crown of my head onto my mat. I then draw my shoulders back and squeeze my elbows towards one another. Now, even here, while my head and knees are down, I can start to press my body's weight into my elbows to identify the feeling, the sensation of what it might be like as I start to pick more and more weight or put more and more weight onto those upper arms. Now, the next step, as I'm teaching vinyasa classes, is step the legs back. But I don't want you to do that here. I want you to keep the knees bent, press into the crown of your head lightly, elbows squeezing shoulders back, and attempt to lift the knees out and up and lift your lower legs up off of your mat. Keep on that, breathing steady and smooth, right? Because all of a sudden we're picking up half of our weight, if not more. Right? If you can learn to keep your elbows steady here, then balance isn't going to be all that far off, although the dynamics change quite a bit once those legs start to straighten. Here, you might notice that the elbows are going to be at 90 degrees. Then you'll be like, John, you're lying to me. You said they're going to be beyond 90. I know that, because once the weight of the leg starts to jut back, you'll start to see how much those elbows need to straighten to get those legs to be light. Remember, Mayurasana, be light. Right? We want to find lightness in the pose. But a demo, you're going to work on it next. So we're going to take it as they typically do it in my vinyasa classes. Same setup. All right? Step one here. I'm going through quickly as I'm demoing, and I'll talk you through it. Step two, elbows bend, crown down. Step three, legs back, right? Toes are tucked. I'm going to keep my feet separated just to improve my balance. Shoulders back. Step four, head up. Whew. Right, this is pretty intense. This is good work here. And finally, the fifth step, sliding forward. I want to learn those legs. I want to feel those legs get light so that they eventually lift. Okay? Step one, go for it. Find your crouch position, sitting back on the heels, knees apart, hands between the knees, fingers point back towards your hips. Step two, if you choose, elbows bend, crown of the head onto your mat. For some, you might have to shuffle the knees forward a little bit, positioning those knees in a favorable position so you remain balanced. Now shoulder blades draw back, press some weight into those arms, right? Just leverage some weight down. Next step, third, we send the legs back. You have crown down, hands down, resting gut on the elbows. The legs are extended back with your toes tucked, feet about hips distance. The next step is a big one, head lifts, and a great place to work, right? If you find that you're trying to lift your feet up and it's not working, stay in fourth position, fourth step. If you can, don't hop. Do not hop. Do not lift one leg or the other. Instead, begin to straighten the elbows, grip down into your fingertips, slide your chest forward, feel your legs get light, and begin to hover. It's like Shalabhasana, remember, just like that locust pose, that back bend. It's all it is. How do we do it? We fall over, we tumble over. A lot of times that'll happen, right? You'll tumble over, or you bail, or something like that. That's the thing with this posture. But honestly, it's fun, right? Again, it's all about those. Well, I shouldn't say it, right? Those challenging postures. They're a lot of fun because they're challenging, because they're impossible, right? That's the beautiful thing about them, right? Embrace the impossibility of those poses. Okay, now, I really wanted to get into the variation with lotus pose, but that would take like a whole other sequence. We didn't even work on any rotation and external rotation in the hip to even warm ourselves up to that lotus pose. But just know that that's an option. And much like kind of like the legs swinging out and up, the exercise we did a few minutes ago, lotus pose makes the posture denser so that your elbows don't have to straighten that little bit more. Oftentimes, they remain closer to 90. Than they do when the legs are back. So it's actually a less challenging pose in many ways. Right? In other ways, it's more challenging. All right. Now let's review something as we would see in second series in Ashtanga. And again, I'll demo. And if you feel as though you might be willing to try it, go for it. Disclaimer here, it's kind of ridiculous, okay? I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to that up dog position here or not. It might, look a little sloppy, but we work on things, right? So from Samasthiti, the first position, exhale, feet apart, we fold and plant the hands in the position we want for Mayurasana. We inhale, look up halfway. And then I exhale, and I try to jump back and almost like landing in the pose. Not that I'm going to do that, but I'm going to jump, step back, and be in like a high plank position here with my arms like so. Here, and then I'm lowering myself forward. Notice I'm in that fourth step here. Then I work on sliding forward and up. Maybe those feet lift. Then up dog, inhale. Exhale, down dog, which is pretty intense on my forearms. Then I step and float top of the mat. Feet apart. Inhale. Fold, exhale. Samasthiti, inhale. Okay? So if you like, give it a shot. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's a fun entry. Again, when we jump back, those hands in the position, maybe step back first, right? Stepping back first is probably just a wise choice, just so you can get a feel for it. You're already in, as elbows begin to bend, you're already in the fourth step that we went through earlier. So it's kind of fun. Right? So those of you out there that practice my vinyasa classes a lot, check it out. Do this when we're going through the vinyasa classes, right? Especially since we're online. I like to see you work on that stuff. Challenge yourself. I mean, of course, we have to have a firm foundation first, solid in our Mayurasana before we start working on funkier transitions into and out of the pose. Okay, so be mindful of that. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, again, practice/tutorial this evening, or whatever time you might be watching this video. Everybody have a wonderful day. Please eat well, sleep well, take care of yourself and others, right? We're in the middle of the pandemic, so please wear a mask. And at some point, we're going to be able to hug one another again. We're going to be able to shake hands. Right? I'm giving a lot of people the fist bump, like so. So fist bump people, boom, like, hey, reach. I think they got long arms. So if they got long arms, it's like we got like that 6 foot, 6 foot thing going on. Everybody have a great day, okay? Keep up your practice, and please check out some of our other videos, a lot of philosophy, meditation, pranayama, and of course, a lot of these clinics as well. Namaste. Peace.